Dana, I want to start with you because, we had on the debate stage both Vice President Biden as well as former HUD Secretary Julian Castro, both obviously part of the Obama administration. I think President Trump oftentimes plays to more of a domestic audience with his rhetoric. And so I think here, when he says things like, well, Boris Johnson would be a great prime minister. And, if you're going to have a soft Brexit, then we're not going to have a bilateral trade agreement. It doesn't matter if you have a private server or if you're using a non-government email account, the content is still potentially subject to a Freedom of Information request.
I may be a Democrat, but I'm an American first. I do not want this president to fail because I don't want our nation to fail. But what we are seeing right now is someone who has, as you said, Piers, lacking empathy. To some extent, it's a little bit too little too late. I think that it does provide some reassurance that President Trump is not going to continue to stoke the flames, as we've seen time and time again. What we did see last night was now we have over 100 women members of Congress. That includes Democrats and Republicans. I want to switch gears for a minute because South Korean officials are saying North Korea has conducted its first weapons test of the year, firing 2 unidentified projectiles presumed to be short-range ballistic missiles. I think that it is largely due to the fact that Roy Moore was just such a controversial candidate, and I think in combination with the fact that there were Republicans that sat at home and did not vote.
People in Ohio definitely blame NAFTA, as well as things like steel dumping and currency manipulation with China as a reason for economic decline.
People already know this about Donald Trump, and they don't care because there is a lot of fear that is driving the electorate right now. Very similarly, frankly, to what we've seen in France with the Front National, with Marine Le Pen and her father before her. I mean, the way that I felt about it is both sadness and repugnance, if that makes sense. Sadness to see the leaders of our nation, elected leaders of our nation, scrambling to duck and cover under their seats, looking for gas masks. Everybody is lurching to the left, and we see this sometimes on the right as well, but everyone's lurching to the left so they can get out of a primary. Then what happens is that in a general election, they become unelectable because everything they did in the primary to get the far left votes is then held against them.